Stay on with me now. We have more news coming in. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has announced compensation following the tragic accident in Chitradurga that claimed several lives. In a post on X, the Chief Minister said, and I quote, Rupees 5 lakh would be provided to the families of each deceased, while those injured would receive Rupees 50,000 each. He stated that he had sought details from the officials and directed them to extend all possible assistance to the victims. An investigation has been ordered to determine the cause of the accident. Belly, take us through the details that are coming in terms of this.
Arya, the Chief Minister. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on, Belly.
Yeah, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has announced an ex gratia of rupees 5 lakhs for the deceased victims' kin, and he has also directed the police officials to carry on a proper inquiry, an investigation into the matter, and submit a report. This is, this cannot be, regarded as and every other accident. So now the Chief Minister has taken responsibility of conducting an inquiry. He has he has discussed the matter with the Home Minister and the Transport Minister as well, and he has indeed taken up measures as to what can be done to prevent such tragic accidents in the future. Is what he is kind of planning, and he will in turn take calls as and when the investigation report is submitted by the police, who are conducting a thorough investigation into the accident. So now, even if the driver is booked for his offence, there will be certainly some kind of flaws from the bus, the travels side, that is the sleeper coaches side as well. So all the pinpoint details would be studied in detail as to in a goodwill gesture to prevent or avert any accidents such as these in the future. So Siddaramaiah had said that a thorough investigation will go on into this particular accident, wherein an ex gratia of rupees 5 lakh has also been announced for the next of the kin of the deceased victims. Yes.
All right, Belly, stay on with me. I also have with me Anurag Kushrestha, road safety expert, tracks. I also have with me another guest with me, Tutu Dhawan, auto analyst, joining me on the telecast. Starting with Anurag, thank you so much for joining me on the telecast. Anurag, what exactly, when we're talking about, since you're a road safety expert, should take one in consideration, especially the lapses in this, in terms of the Seabird bus as well, when we talk about this NH48, this accident took place. What was something that should have been taken into consideration for to avoid an incident like this?
Yes, exactly. I just want to focus on one thing, because these vehicles are passed by the RTOs and ARTOs. And soon you will get a report from these RTOs and ARTOs that this bus was not maintained, or was not passed annually or something like this. But the real fact is, about more than 50% RTOs, ARTOs, MVIs, they are non-technical. As per CMVR, they must be
My
technical
phone has
side,
become
like,
hot. It is not switching on.
hello.
Please go on, Anurag. Please go on.
Yes, so these RTOs, ARTOs, MVIs, they must be the technical, from the technical field, that is automobile engineering or this mechanical engineering. And while these such type of buses are coming for the passing, these non-technical officers are passing these buses without having any knowledge about the modifications, type of electricals wiring used in these buses. And second thing, internationally, if we go through the number of developed countries, such buses are banned. I don't know, because just few days back, one of the officials from the ministry was saying still they are not having any policy for such buses. So if we don't have the policies, and even we are, our RTOs, ARTOs, these are the non-technical, they are passing these vehicles, on which ground? Every month, there are number of accidents, such incidents. Even then, we don't have policies. It's an irony in India. We don't have any policy for that. We are passing out all these buses timely, even after regular incidents, such incidents where number of people are losing their lives. So yes, we are in a world of fantasy, innovations and all. So we are running behind the innovations, and we are keeping all the other factors dumped somewhere and not addressing these issues. So ministries should come forward and should decide the policy first about such vehicles and modified vehicles, and then they must be plow on the roads. Yes, please.
All right. I also have with me Tutu Dhawan joining me on the telecast. Mr. Dhawan, when we're talking about, since you're an auto analyst, the lapses in this Seabird vehicle, there was only one entry and exit. Take us through what are exactly the problems with the design of this vehicle, because this has led to the loss of a lot of lives because of these lapses of emergency gates and windows.
Yeah, unfortunately, these buses are designed very poorly. This just in what we call it in a Hindi language as jugaad. It's a jugaad that has been created, on a normal bus by adding additional sleepers in between. With the result, in a situation like this, there is no way that a passenger can escape without getting hurt or getting semi-burnt. And this is the result what has happened in this accident yesterday. Unfortunately, it happened at a time when I think most of the passengers must be sleeping. With the result, they were not even aware of what has happened, and by the time they realized, they were already in a shock, and they were engulfed in the fire. Only the people who had their eyes open, with the result, the conductor and the bus driver and maybe a few others who managed to jump out. The rest obviously went away sleeping. So it is our design failure that has been happening, and this is not the first time. In the last couple of years, I think we've had hundreds of such accidents, and just recently we've had 4 or 5 accidents in different parts of our country, and yet we have not learned anything. Our RTOs and our authorities who give certifications for safety of these vehicles are not competent enough to even understand what should be in the design and what should be the safety factors that has to be incorporated in these buses. Most of these buses don't even have an easy escape. You have to break a glass and things like that and jump maybe 6 to 8 feet down, especially for buses which have been designed by Volvo and others, whose windows are so high that even if you break a glass, a person of mid-age and above, old age people, they can't even jump out of those vehicles because they will either break their legs or get hurt fatally themselves. So all these things have to be factored into the design when these vehicles are being manufactured, and there has to be a supervision by the authorities, competent authorities, who would probably make, have surprise checks and make sure that such things don't happen again and again.
All right, Mr. Dhawan, stay on with me. I also have with me Sanjay Sahai, former IPS, joining me on the telecast. Mr. Sahai, when we talk about this already, Mr. Dhawan has talked about the lapses in the designs of these sleeper buses. But when we talk about these sleeper buses, this is not the first time that an accident or a tragedy like this has taken place. A lot of these sleeper buses are required to have multiple emergency exits, but in practice, these rear exits are often blocked, especially after registration, to add extra berths in many of the custom-built buses. So, taking a look into this, do you think the authorities should have been more vigilant, or was this entirely the responsibility of the bus owners and the driver?
Leave aside the authorities being less vigilant or more vigilant. I think they are behaving in a manner of putting their head in the sand itself. So they have absolutely no idea as to what has been happening, and design elements and a variety of other things the two experts have been talking about. I don't think there's anything to deny in that. At the core of this whole exercise is crash commercialization. We'll get into the technical road traffic, roadworthiness part of it a bit later. So it is crash commercialization, which is basically a cartel sort of operation between bus or operators and the regulators. The regulators are just not aware of anything. And these cartel operators, they are aware of only crash commercialization and monetizing it in a manner which is just unimaginable. So this is from where we start. You're talking of a lorry driver. The other day we had some Indigo strike, and we were talking about the pilots being overworked and some limitation being put. I think every single lorry driver, might be with a couple of exceptions, is running a vehicle at the risk of all the third party which is there in the road. And they drive over and over again for weeks together, months together in a pitiable condition, and they don't have any reasonable facilities on the sides of the roads. So that is broadly where this lorry driver also comes from. And he is ramming the median of the road. To hit the median of the road, all of us, I think most of us have been drivers. We know how easy or how difficult it is, and that he is able to do. And finally, he hits a bus. Now coming to the bus does not have any standards. There are inflammability standards of the US and UK and all that. We don't have absolutely anything. The bus is only of combustible material, which means that there is firewood out there and petrol is also there. They have to come together and burst into flame. That is precisely what happened in Kurnool. That is precisely what is happening today and what has happened in any number of other cases. There is absolutely nobody bothered. So one is the commercialization. Second is the callousness and indifference of both the regulatory authorities and the government. The same government, whichever government it might be, we don't have to get into the color and the dispensation and the party which rules. It has been exactly the same thing. The Ministry of Highways and Road Transport remains the same, and they have done commendable work in making roads in this country. We will get into the road story much later. But when you have built the roads have been built with a purpose. So it is a faster movement of passenger traffic, a faster movement of cargo, and we moving on to the next level of road transport. That is precisely the purpose. But the vehicles moving on these roads belong to the 200 years before. So you have a Volvo which is being played around without any capability, without any engineering skills. People have been talking about the inspector of motor vehicles and RTO and all that. I think less said the better, and the roadworthiness which they provide, roadworthiness, mechanical safety and couple of other 2-3 points which they certify is certainly not enough for a vehicle to bring onto the road. Entry and exit by one door. I don't know what this country will require to just break that norm and not allow that vehicle to run. I have absolutely no idea why that is not happening. As far as doors or windows are concerned, first I don't subscribe to the basic design which none of the panelists subscribe. Why can't we have windows which can be opened and you can jump out of it, and no night buses whatsoever? No night buses whatsoever. You are basically, these buses are moving coffins. It is proved over and over again, and what clout they have, God only knows. There is a complete regulatory paralysis, and only ads and things of that nature that roads are of this quality, that quality, it is ending up in deaths in a nature which is unimaginable. So literally the whole ecosystem, from the business side, from the regulatory side, from the governance side, from the protocol side, and even on the side of the emergency services, that is literally missing, that the emergency services are not provided any time in these situations. Certainly they will not be provided any time. One more point I'll add, the driver and the bus conductor.
All right, Mr. Sahai, sorry to interrupt you, but I also have with me UT Khadkekar, Speaker of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly, joining me on the telecast. Thank you so much, Khadkekar, for joining me on the telecast. Obviously, this incident is shocking, and which has led to the loss of life of at least 10 people. Now, the Karnataka government has said that the thorough investigation will be done, but the fact of the matter is, in this bus, there was only one entry and one exit. What is your take on something like a huge lapse on this? All right.